We're here with Greg Gumbs, Senior Vice President of Marketing and Business Development for Telco Systems. Greg, thank you for joining us this morning. We hear a lot about changes in this industry. You've had a lot going on in your business in the last 6 months, some acquisitions. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I think there's three things that we've changed in the last 3 to 6 months. One is we've had a major emphasis on expanding internationally. So we've opened up offices in Eastern Europe, Western Europe, and also APAC out of Singapore, as well as Latin America. So we've expanded our sales coverage and we're expanding our reach of how we can sell our products to other countries. The second tenet is we've also been acquisitive. We've recently completed an acquisition of Anda Networks, which was a carrier Ethernet company in the Ethernet over copper space. So that really has been a very good acquisition for us. It's been accretive over the last couple months. It's also been able to bring us some very large Tier 1 carrier customers, so we're refocusing some of our efforts not only in those three European, Asian, and Latin American countries, but also continuing to buttress our North American efforts. And then the last thing I would say is we've continued to expand our products and invest in them, not just for carrier Ethernet, but also to catch this rising wave of cloud connectivity and cloud access, and be able to provide Ethernet to cloud connectivity with some new products that we're developing.
Greg, you mentioned the cloud just a second ago, and of course the cloud is huge in everything in technology these days. Exactly how does cloud computing affect your business?
I think cloud connectivity and cloud in general has been a concept that has actually been around for a while, but it's just starting to take off. Several of our large carrier customers have made acquisitions in the data center space. Verizon, as well as AT&T, Terramark, Savvis acquisitions. So as our customers move towards cloud, we see that there's an opportunity to continue to expand our products to give them help in cloud access and connectivity.
Customers are always looking ahead, even during their current implementations, 2, 3, 5 years out. How do you stay ahead with those customers planning for the next stage of the game?
Sure, great question. I think if I had a crystal ball, I would say that the main focus for us as a mid-sized company is to really continue to innovate and to invest in R&D, particularly for some of these new products. And I think the key is that things have moved more towards a software model where you have to be able to be flexible, build your products so that they can take advantage of the virtualization and some of the connectivity that's more focused traditionally in an IT environment, now in the wide area networking environment. So we're making those investments, not only on the sales channel coverage, but also particularly in the innovation and the R&D efforts.
Virtualization in the server industry is huge these days. How exactly are you using virtualization to affect your products?
I think that it's expanded from the data center now to where folks want to be able to have a resource, the networking resources with the bandwidth as they need it, when they need it, how much they need it, and obviously at a very good price. So, to be able to do that and provide those connections dynamically and to be able to provide it all across the world in a virtualized environment, that is complex. So our goal is to simplify that complexity and address that with software and provide that in our products for our customers.
You mentioned growth areas. You'd open some international offices. What areas outside of the United States are you starting to see large growth in your market?
Great question. We see Latin America as a very big growth area for us. We recently closed a very large Tier 1 service provider, Telefonica. So they are essentially bringing new Ethernet services and connectivity to their mobile environment, as well as their fixed line environment to provide better bandwidth and services for their customers.
Bandwidth is always an issue in this business. It's growing like crazy. What are your projections for 3 to 5 years out? How are you going to accommodate the need for increased bandwidth going forward?
Well, I think if you look at some of the indexes and the work that the analysts would do, continually doubling rates and data have continued to proliferate, mainly because of video, the smartphones, those types of applications. We're clearly seeing that the move from 10 gigabit to 40 gigabit is happening, and we're seeing customers on the advanced window looking at 100 gigabit connectivity. So we have offered products now from 1 gig all the way up to 40 gig, which you'll see in our booth, to be able to address those growing bandwidth needs.
Greg, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Great, thank you very much.